In the digital age today, security and integrity is paramount. With the rise of sophisticated fraud schemes and cyber threats, financial institutions are under constant pressure to safeguard customer assets and maintain trust. Analytics and AI techniques can help detect, prevent, and mitigate fraudulent activities effectively. Datamatics can help you address these challenges with the Datamatics Fraud Analytics solution powered by AI. The solution enables real-time monitoring of transactions and activities to quickly predict, identify, and respond to potential fraud. Let's have a look at how the solution works. The fraud detection team starts by logging into the portal. The dashboard here shows all the transactions happening in real time. The tool gathers data from diverse sources such as customer transaction logs, customer profiles, online activity, and historical databases. We develop and deploy meta-learning algorithms to find transaction patterns and identify high-risk accounts. Based on model scores and standard rules, accounts are labeled as fraud, suspicious, or no fraud. The dashboard shows an analytics of all transactions from transaction ID, date, and amount, highlights a sure fraud, possible fraud, or no fraud, and ranks it a corresponding fraud score. Let's look at a sure fraud case. The dashboard highlights crucial details like transaction details, know of transactions, possible fraud case, IP tracking, and connected accounts. It also provides a detailed transaction history. Here we can see the fraud score is at 0.98, indicating this is a sure fraud case. The fraud officer can dive deeper into all transaction with a transaction graph pattern, which shows the transactions patterns and connected accounts. The pattern graph highlights the fraud accounts in red, suspicious accounts in purple, and clear accounts in blue. The graph highlights various patterns across transactions and accounts. Through the feedback button, the fraud detection officer can submit their findings and flag off fraudulent activity or anomalies. The transaction can be rated as clear transaction, suspicious transaction, wrong transaction, unauthorized transactions, fraud transactions, and be sent for further decision-making. Now let's look at a possible fraud case. The dashboard here too shows the transaction details, insights on number of frauds, IP tracking, amounts, etc. It further highlights the transaction history, amounts, dates, and rates of fraud score. In this case we can see the fraud score of 0.78 and determine if it's possible fraud case. Let's have a look at the transaction pattern graph. The graph here looks less complex as compared to the earlier one. It shows one account linked to another. It also highlights multiple transactions taking place between a few identified accounts. The fraud detection office here too can submit his feedback and analysis. By leveraging the Datamatics Fraud Analytics solution, banking and financial institutions can enhance their ability to detect and prevent fraud, protect customer assets, and maintain trust and confidence in the banking system. In a nutshell, this solution can predict and prevent fraud, detect anomalies, real-time transaction monitoring, faster decision-making, adhere to regulatory requirements and policies, maintain trust,